Hello and welcome everyone back to another Caldo and Crypto video. Hope you guys are having a great rest of your Sunday. Looking forward to your working week. It's 1 a.m. here, but I wanted to make this breaking news regarding about Richard Hart and his case. What does it mean for PulseChain? I've seen a lot of these, fear, uncertainty, and doubt being spread around in the past 24 hours since my previous video, which I recommend everyone to watch, the SEC summary. But we're going to be talking about the aftermath of this breaking news, which they've listed Richard Hart in the most wanted list in the Interpol, which is basically the FBI of Europe. Again, what does this mean for your bags in the short to long term? Can they shut down the PulseChain blockchain? Now, a quick answer to that is, of course not. Okay, yes, Richard Hart is the founder of PulseChain, but once he deployed it, it has now become a fully decompiled assembly code that's distributed to the 45,000 validators and full nodes that are running the blockchain decentralized. You cannot pinpoint which country the blockchain lives. That is the whole point of the technology, guys. Welcome to crypto. We don't need Richard Hart, respectfully, of course. Whether he, God forbid, one day dies, we actually don't need him anymore. He found the blockchain, and this is by design. You don't need it's not centralized. You don't need someone to be there to turn on. Oh, let me turn on the shop. Oh, close the shop. No. The blockchain is always 24/7. We've had 590 days of 100% uptime, guys. But we're gonna still be talking about his this latest piece of news. Where what does this mean for PulseChain in general? Because of course I'm gonna show you guys in a second. It has affected the charts. So technically, the fact, even though that Richard Hart has nothing or is not needed for PulseChain, why did it affect the charts? Now I'll tell you that this is all negative sentiments that are just roaming around, that will fade away at some point, okay? But it has unfortunately been getting to people emotionally. I've seen whales selling, and buying back when the price is slightly higher because they're like, oh my God, wait, what? The price bounced? Because of course the believers, guys, these shakeouts, it's so crazy. These shakeouts are effectively redistributing the tokens from the weak hands to the strong hands. Simple as that. From the believers, from the non-believers to the believers, the people who are destined to make it. Again, you have to really believe in the projects that you're in, guys, so that when we have pieces of news like this, it shouldn't faze you. It should not faze you. Or if the price goes down 40%, it should not faze you. 2025 is the year where all the stars are aligned. What are you doing reacting to this? Reacting emotionally to this? And if you are a type of emotional person, honestly, the best thing to do is just don't look at the charts. You have your investment, you've made them, you've taken your risk. Just come back sometime in 2025 to check on them. That's it. Don't look at the chart every single day. It will get to you. This is why, guys, the statistic is so unfortunate. This is why the statistic, 95% of people in crypto do not make money. It's only 5% who make money, who make it. So let's talk about this. Okay, we're going to be reducing the FUD out there, giving clarity to everyone. Don't worry. Calm down. Don't worry. PulseChain is not going anywhere. Okay, at the end of the day, guys, this is what has been telling us this whole time. Don't expect work from others. We built PulseChain to be what it is today. It is a fork of Ethereum, just like every other fork. What makes it special? Why am I making videos on this? It's because that we have the community that on PulseChain. Yes, the technology is amazing and great, solves scalability issues, 70% quicker than Ethereum, thousands of X's cheaper than Ethereum. All of that, 100% uptime with our RPC URLs, never went down. At the end of the day, what gives us the value is, of course, guys, is the community itself. People like you and I, we give it value. But of course, not me. I'm just here as a content creator. Obviously, I'm giving shout out to the builders on PulseChain and and the very smart people like the Atropa dev. Is he hired by Richard Hart? I don't know, but we're going to be seeing his latest updates, his predictions about when will PDAI peg. So let's watch the whole video through. Before we jump in, thank you very much for all the YouTube members who are choosing to support my small channel, keeping me going. It's a pleasure to make these videos, guys. Again, I want you guys to become independent thinkers. Okay, don't rely on my videos to come up with your own decisions. Okay, just look at my video just so that you can understand at least my thought process. I always recommend looking at multiple content creators, whether you agree or not with them, so you can just understand the different perspectives that everyone has. Because at the end of the day, We all have perspectives. None of us actually has the real world view. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we're all looking at a building from a far away distance with different perspectives. Okay, we're just trying to describe what we think we're seeing. Okay, so keep that in mind. But, you know, a big thank you to everyone who's watching my videos. Of course, I've been reading all your comments on Twitter as well. We're saying that I've helped them understand PulseChain, helped them on board to PulseChain. So yeah, thank you very much. But without further ado, let's jump in. Breaking: Richard Schulier, widely known as Richard Hart, is the founder of HEX and PulseChain, has now been listed on EU's most wanted page. So there it is. You know, they talk about, oh yeah, he's fraud. The crime is fraud. Okay, including that affecting the financial interests of the European counties within the meaning of the convention of blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. Mail, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we know this. Now, this is what's crazy, okay? So it's not only fraud, which we're going to talk about that in a second as well. For the purpose of avoiding tax, okay? It's so crazy how avoiding tax puts him on the most wanted list of Interpol. Guys, Interpol's like the FBI of Europe. It puts him on the most wanted list. It's as if like, wow, they've solved every other crime going on in Europe, from the murders, from the kidnappings. You know? Oh yeah, let's put this guy who's just evading tax. Like, that's so crazy. But let's talk about it. And it gets even crazier, by the way. There's also an assault charge, guys. Okay, an assault charge is crazy. For the purpose of avoiding tax. Oh yeah, let's put him on the most wanted list. Wow. Schulier failed to observe a statutory duty pertaining to taxation that is of significance in the assessment of tax. Schulier failed to file business tax returns for the tax multiple years, and also to complete information on his income on his pre-filled personal tax returns. Schulier received income from his business or income generating activity, blah, blah, blah. It's all, it's about tax. So many taxes in one sentence. Second one here, which is crazy. Schulier physically assaulted a 16-year-old victim by grabbing their hair, dragging them into their stairwell, and knocking them to the ground while the victim was lying on their back on the floor. Schulier punched them 4 to 5 times. That is extremely, that's a lot of detail, guys. You know, that's a lot of detail with zero referencing. It's crazy because on the website, there's zero referencing about where they got this piece of information. Oh, in the nose, eyes, and head area. Schulier caused the victim to suffer pain, broken facial skin, bleeding and swelling in the facial area. In addition, the victim's clothes were covered in blood. A lot of detail. Again, no referencing, you know? And it's crazy. It is really crazy. He is also listed on the Interpol. That's what I just said. And then this is my reply to it. Okay. You know, I was just doing my part of the community by just answering people. You know, this guy's always gives me bad vibes. So here's my reply, and I just said, look more into it. Don't just read the article headlines. He never scammed anyone. His story is too good for people to believe. Even the SEC doesn't want him to make thousands of blue collar workers millionaires, just like he did with HEX. Okay, open your mind. If you have any general question, obviously reach out to me, and this is open for all the viewers. Join my Telegram, link in the description. So yeah, and there's also another. If I go back, there is another comment that I did comment here, which I want to read to you guys. This is actually a really good summary about what is this all about. It seems like an attack from the Matrix. It seems like a smear campaign from the SEC, because this is kind of their final resort. It's the same route that Andrew Tate went through, right? Where they first ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you until you win, God willingly. So Richard Hart's story went from being the hero who made a 10,000x token that minted thousands of millionaires to an apparent scammer. The SEC is suing not only Richard Hart, but the apparent alter egos, HEX, PulseChain, PulseX. I mentioned that in yesterday's video. Tell me, isn't this an attack on crypto? How can you name a piece of immutable permissionless code as a defendant that requires a lawyer? Richard Hart is fighting the SEC for breaking unwritten rules. 44,000 signed the petition, so we know about this yesterday. But yeah, I choose to be in PulseChain because I see the truth, because I believe in something, true decentralization. And then yeah, Richard Hart actually delivered on everything he spoke about. Join the movement, freedom of speech, code is speech. This is an attack on your First Amendment. And generally, Richard Hart is being attacked by the Matrix for sure. Now, I actually do believe that he's probably not in Finland anymore. I think he's probably somewhere safe. I actually wouldn't be surprised if he's not even in the EU anymore, because I think I've even heard there's a bounty for him to be found, or captured or whatever. But the crazy part, and this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. All this as if it's like some breaking news. Look, they're saying here, has now been listed. Do you know something? That actually have listed him on the most wanted. They've said that they are investigating him and he's wanted way before, in September of 2024. Look at this. Finland wants to detain Richard Hart, alleges millions in unpaid taxes. They even mentioned the suspicion of assault. Do you know what I mean? Like, so this is recycled news. So you're telling me, how come did this take the market 3 months to react to? So all these people like Whale Fud and Watch Guru and stuff like that who are posting about this, bro, it's not a new piece of news. We already know this. We already know this. So you know what I mean? Like, now who looks like a fool? Who looks like a fool, bro? But here's a nice summary. Basically, this is nothing new. Finland wants Richard Hart to pay taxes on the sacrifice funds. And that's the crazy part. Guys, the sacrifice funds that we sacrificed, I sacrificed myself. Finland wants some of that moolah from the sacrifice funds. Hey, that's my money. Hold on. Whoa. No, I'm joking. It is no expectations. But I'm just saying, like, what? They're trying to get taxed. They're trying to get him to tax the sacrifice funds, which he'd been refusing to do since last year. Now Finland has issued a red notice on him to force his appearance for a separate trial. Big whoop. As for the curb stomping some teenager, that sounds dubious as F, and I don't believe it for a second. If anything, it's the opposition's attempt to smear Richard Hart as he looks bad. In reality, they're scared of him and what he has created. Choose decentralization. Absolutely. Pulse is decentralized. You cannot turn it off, and everything has access to it by downloading or visiting hosted sites. The same goes for PDAI, PulseX, HEX, and INC. Again, they're decentralized. It's business as usual. If you got shaken out before Christmas, don't cry when you get left behind. This is a bull market and things move fast. And of course, this is a believer's bull market, most importantly. Nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. Beautiful. And we're going to see, by the way, just a quick fun fact as well, top coins that have the most active communities. Yeah, Pulsechain is here with top 13, and I think HEX is somewhere, top 17. I think actually this is probably going to be somewhere even higher. But this is also good news, guys. This is very good news that we're getting recognition. And, even with all this breaking news stuff, even though, yes, people are going to reply with negative FUD, you know what? Any publicity is good publicity, because this is engagement. Now you'll have a percentage of those people who are going to be reading the comments and going to be like, hold on, actually, they are right. I'm going to change my mind. And that's what I did. I was replying to those comments, telling them, hold on, change your mind about what you think of Richard Hart. Be open-minded. They want to sue him because, of course, he created a too good to be true project that is doing exactly what it's been doing. It's open source. Go read the source code. There's no pump and dump functions. You know what I mean? HEX is still working today. Pulsechain, he delivered on what he talked about. So the sacrifice is not an illegal ICO. He said it's in no expectations. 44,000 people signed a petition saying that they're not a victim. Come on, guys. Come on. And here, shout out to Ivan Tech, basically just admitted that coins like HEX are better than Bitcoin because, of course, it's cycle one narrative. Bitcoin is at the top of its S-curve adoption. So, of course, you won't be expecting the 100x anymore. Same thing with Ethereum, same thing with Solana, etc. And this is why being in altcoins, it is the best way to make the best out of this bull run that happens every 4 years, guys, every 4 years. So let's see what Ivan had to say.
At 17K, at 18K, don't feel like that, because listen, there are going to be so many opportunities. We haven't even went into the true mania, okay, of alts, and alts is the biggest opportunity. It's not Bitcoin. Then you do see something like HEX. Let me know, by the way, guys, if we have some HEX fans in the chat. If you look at HEX, it's up also over 100% over the past 30 days. This is the kind of place that is going to be way more common. And it's not necessarily that you need to look at this particular coins. I'm just showing you examples of great performance in alts, way better than Bitcoin. And Bitcoin hasn't even done a lot. What is changing and what is interesting is that many of the discounts are disappearing.
Exactly. He talked about discounts disappearing, as in I'm going to assume he was talking about like diminishing returns, how every cycle that Bitcoin and Ethereum goes through, you can expect more and more diminishing returns, because that is it. They've hit their, you know, the maturation phase of the S curve, right? Where it's already mainstream. People already know about Bitcoin, so there's not really much room for more adoption. Even though, hold on, I will take that kind of back. Even though when you compare it to the whole population, only 7% of the whole population is in crypto. So actually there is a lot of room for adoption, and things like ETFs are great because it legitimizes cryptocurrency. It now lowers the barrier for institutional investors to jump into Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is great. But as well, you know, it will slowly just become diminishing returns. This is why altcoins is where it is at for creating generational wealth. You will not get that with the stock market, and that is for sure. Okay. But anyways, moving on. This is what Richard had been tweeting, okay, recently in the aftermath. Just look at how he speaks, man. He knows about this. I feel like he anticipated for this. This is why, guys, I'm so proud to have Richard Hart be my founder. I'm so proud to be having most of my portfolio investment in PulseChain. This is where I want to be. It is conviction. It is actually now has become more than investment to me. I want to represent PulseChain in a way where, like, you know, I want to onboard people. I want to stay within PulseChain. My exit strategy is to be in the stable swap. I ain't going anywhere, guys. You know, where should I go? Where else should I go in crypto? Okay, yes, maybe in the bull market, I'm going to be holding some Bitcoin, because of course, Bitcoin store of value is always going to be number one, the sun of the solar system, keeping everything balanced. But PulseChain is where it's at, guys. PulseChain is where it is at, because in life, guys, you have these moments where you feel like this is where you should take the risk, even though you might not be ready to jump. That's exactly the right time to jump. But of course, this is not financial advice. This is just how I felt. It genuinely feels like, guys, God put PulseChain in my path. I was not in crypto for a whole year and a half. I had a gap between my channel. Like, I was making videos in the previous bull run. It was great. And then I took a year and a half gap because I was busy with life. And then, which, to be honest, that was kind of a mistake. I should have kept going on with crypto because I felt like it was my passion. And it was. And the only reason I got back is because I heard PulseChain has finally launched. That's the only reason, guys. So here I am today. Let's see what he said. Sometimes maximum FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt is equal to maximum opportunity. Bitcoin dropped 40% from 5K to 3K in 2 weeks for a China ban. I did an 8-hour long live stream, and that was it. It was the bottom. The price was 20K 3 months later. Don't you wish you bought BTC at 3K? So obviously he's talking about by the flipping dips, guys, which we're going to check the charts in a second. And speaking of, you know, general influx, there's a lot of people, 2.25 million bridged into PulseChain from the Ethereum chain. You know, obviously to buy the dips. You can see this. Absolutely crazy. 300K, 1 million, 300K. So absolutely crazy. But also, whilst, because, you know, the volume was, you know, it's absolute highest. There's an image here that I made. You can see the volume was 12.7 million yesterday in the past 24 hours. 12.7 million just on one pair for PulseX. This has caused PulseX to do a buy and burn of 366K in one day, guys. This is why PulseX is what Uniswap wishes it could have become. PulseX, guys, is so powerful. It is truly a leverage of PulseChain. Okay, because of the buy burn, every single buy, every single swap on the PulseX DEX makes your PulseX bag more scarce, more expensive for anyone else to buy. You know, there is that. So yeah, this is basically what I kind of talked about. Just because Richard Hart, he talked about himself, 300K of PulseX were burnt yesterday because the burn goes up with volume. Also, the farmers and LPs and stables and profit volume, etc., etc. So yeah, big shout out to Richard Hart. He is chilling, guys. Look at him tweeting about PulseChain whilst everyone is kind of worrying, like, oh my God, is Richard Hart gonna get jailed and stuff? Nah, guys, I think he's in a safe place. He anticipated this easily. We're gonna quickly go to the charts before I show you guys the best part of the video, arguably, which is 4 and 4. His predictions, what he's been saying recently in the live streams. So first of all, PDAI. Okay, let's quickly check how was the sell pressure, the market reaction. So you have the piece of news. Let's take it from here. What has it caused? It has caused, basically, it went all the way down at, I think here. Let me double check. Yeah, let's do it from here. It caused a minus a 50% discount. Okay, and then immediately the price bounced back, guys. 87. That's like a very quick 1x basically. So we're only a 12 or 15% away from wiping the effect of this FUD, guys, that lasted 1 or 2 days. Crazy. Crazy. I'm telling you, this is why it shouldn't really affect Pulsechain at all, guys. And at the same time, we know Richard Heart's smart. We know Richard Heart, he's going to prevail. All he's going through right now is just an attack on the matrix. This is why I feel like Andrew Tate and Richard Heart should actually make a podcast together, because they've gone through the same experience right now. But yeah, going back to it, and how many X's, by the way, is PDAI to $1? Let's quickly check it out. It is a 61x. PWBC is 103x away from parity, which is crazy because it actually went all the way down. We're going to check PWBTC. It went all the way down to, wow, look at that, 455, man. That's so cheap. That is so cheap. Let's see real quick. The price of Bitcoin, I think, is around 95,000. If we, like, how many X's was it from that point? It was a 200x. That's the power of DCAing, man. Is it 200x? But now where we are is 105x, which is still not bad. But you see how crazy it is? All of a sudden, you buying the dip is actually the difference of making a 200x or 100x. So crazy, man. It is so crazy. But PWBC is doing really great. It's now at 899. And then next up here, you have the WPLS, the native token. Again, it's looking really great. Obviously, this one slightly still below. It took a 38% discount, and then it did a really nice bounce back. So now from where we are going back, it's just a 27% increase. I think we're going to easily eat that up. And yeah, HEX is actually one of those tokens that did not get affected almost at all. It's looking pretty strong. We're gonna talk about HEX in a second because Atropa dev mentioned HEX, guys. Okay. So yeah, from here to kind of all-time high is a 50 cents. To 50 cents is a 125x. So that is a great opportunity. The cheaper HEX, because again, I do believe that at some point they will be 1-to-1. So there's that. the INC token, it went all the way down as well, $1.7, and now it's hovering just over $2. That's great. Good bounce back. PulseX, on the other hand, as well, is doing really well. You guys can see it's also kind of a printing the W bullish pattern. So, this is really good. Same thing with PHEX. And you know what's crazy as well? Actually, if you put on the day chart and you reset, you'll see that the RSI index, the relative strength index, was at its lowest, all-time low, when it did this crazy dump. So it really tells you this is extremely, this is a Christmas discount. Basically, it's a Christmas discount. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, you have Atropa as well. It went all the way down. Basically, the whole market kind of correlated together. Teddy Bear, thankfully, as well, is back up. Like, we're already seeing a very healthy bounce back. Look at the market today. Everything's up. Everything's green. While the rest of the market is absolutely in, it's bloody. It's not really that bloody or depression. It's just bloody, really. And that's what I'm expecting. Number one, we're in a weekend. Number two, we are in December. So don't expect too much from here on out. But going back to what has Atropa been saying, this is what he's been saying recently. We should buy only HEX because HEX itself supports staking on chain. So there's that. And as I said, there's been records before where Maria, he talked about, he believes in a 1-to-1 HEX PHEX ratio. Okay, which right now, what is the ratio looking like? Good question. It is a 1-to-4.3 ratio. And then he also talked about, what is your timeline for the PDAI peg? He replied, could be by February of 2025, the last stretch. So very, very interesting news, guys. Is Richard Heart going to click that button to collateralize the vaults? You know, it's gonna be very cool. I feel like we're definitely, I think January and stuff, we're gonna see the price go in the, you know, maybe even 10 cents. That's what I think. It's gonna be absolutely crazy. We've already seen PDAI being the reason that it has onboarded a lot of people, guys. It is the unique selling point of PulseChain because of the fact that it's a full system state copy of Ethereum, right? Creating the world's largest airdrop. We forked DAI, which is from the legacy MakerDAO. Now MakerDAO on Ethereum is called Sky, and it's working on a more centralized stablecoin than ever. Not good. So I'm happy where I'm at with, you know, with a decentralized stablecoin in the making. So, you know, imagine telling your friends, yeah, I made 100x from this, from a stablecoin. Crazy. You can only say that here in PulseChain. And then here's another topic about Teddy Bear. I think Teddy Bear is 100% ready to be all the other currencies. Invent a new crypto certification based on the Teddy Bear standard and challenge all the other coins to satisfy or beat it. So guys, I'm going to be, look at this guy, certify it. I have no idea what he's meaning. I think because he's trying to create his own, or not his own, like, you know, he's trying to create a financial system within PulseChain. It's kind of interesting. You know, there's, I think, layer 1, layer 2, but I heard layer 2 is basically a game. So correct me if I'm wrong, but it's pretty cool. You know, certify, ready. These are bullish terms. You know, he approves basically. I love Maria, honestly, man. This is the final thing, by the way. This is kind of a theory here where I'm not going to read through it. Shout out to AI Hex Pulse. Basically just talking about, you know, can Richard Hart or should Richard Hart pump EHEX first before the other 4 core tokens so that he can onboard people from the Ethereum side that are attracted to the EHEX pump over to the PulseChain side, and then obviously pump the PulseChain, or, you know, buy it back with a sacrifice funds, which right now, if look at it, they are down minus 13% because Ethereum, guys, it has been struggling. The ETH-BTC ratio has been struggling. I'm not going to lie. So don't expect too much from the alts because we need Ethereum to move first. Overall, you know, this month is going to be your final chance in catching those dips. This is what I think, guys. Okay, this is why I'm making this video. I'm going to keep it relatively short. Even though it's 27 minutes, that's not short really. But I'm going to end the video there because it is actually almost 2 a.m. and I need to sleep. So I hope you guys appreciate this video, just keeping us informed. Don't worry, you know, with stuff like this about the most wanted thing. This is old news. Well, you know, this is really old news. Somehow they succeeded in fear-mongering the people. I think this is a smear campaign from the SEC. It's their final resort. Same thing with, you know, filing the subpoenas to the content creators that were unpaid. So what are you on about? So anyways, don't worry, guys. We will win. Just believe, keep believing, and God will have our backs. Remember God, and God shall remember you. Hope you guys have a great night, or at least I will. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and catch you in the next video. Take care.